Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast on anywhere you download your podcast and on YouTube also.
I'm going to tell you a little behind the scenes here about something that Murphy can't resist in this life.
No, food.
And,
besides dessert.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
I
that's
wasn't
true.
going to say that.
Oh, you
It's
weren't?
true, though. Can't resist appetizers or dessert sometimes.
Yeah, man, that's the biggest challenge to me being on a diet is I love food.
You're supposed to love food,
I know,
though.
I know.
It's your nutrients. You need food to be alive. And healthy people are hungry. Remember that and forgive yourself for being hungry. Yeah. Okay, no, the secret or the behind the scenes that I want to tell about Murphy is this. And you don't know these things about a person until you live with them or marry them. And I remember the first times I realized this was when I was, that you got this from your family. So let me just tell you this quick story. Yesterday afternoon, I was coming home from yoga, and on the way home, there were like 2 fire trucks that went past me, on our street. Like, wow, here's an ambulance, and here's 2 fire trucks. I'm like, oh, look at where they're going. I get to the house. Murphy's at home having some lunch. And while he's having lunch and we're just catching up and, hey, how was yoga? 2 or 3 more emergency vehicles go flying down our street. And I'm like, oh, well, I hope everything's okay down there. See you later. He's going back to work, or so he said. But I know Murphy. You cannot help yourself. You have to know what's going on. We've had situations where we're on the way to something, and there's emergency vehicles or something going on at a parking lot, and he will stop the car and I need to know what's going on here. And what's funny is that I say you got this from your family because I remember the first times I realized, this is where you got it from. Your family's the same way. The first time I went on a beach vacation, you and your whole family spent like 30 minutes on the balcony trying to find out what was going on with somebody's tent down, several feet down the beach. And I'm like, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to take a bath,
What was the tent problem?
Oh, I don't know.
He still needs to know.
See,
Yeah, right.
I didn't care. I didn't know. If it's not my business, I just don't care. We are not built the same way. But
and some
in that way.
Some people would say it's nosiness, and I guess it is, but it's really more about just interest. So let me tell you about
You'd make a good news
the emergency
person.
vehicles and all that kind of stuff. And I definitely get that from my late grandfather, my late dad also. My grandfather, if he saw smoke somewhere, would grab 2 things, his car keys and his 8mm camera, motion picture camera.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like fire extinguisher.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
expecting.
Right. No, and he was going to go see what was going on. Now, my grandfather would. If he thought he could help somebody, he absolutely
Sure.
would do that. I mean, he'd stretch a garden hose as far as he needed to if he needed to help somebody. So, yeah, absolutely. It's not just about,
I know. I'm not calling you
I don't
nosy.
know what
It's
that,
inquisitive.
and it's probably the same reason that these kind of things make headlines and become viral in social media and all that. You know what I mean? Because there's just a natural curiosity about things. There's some about a human condition that's like that. But my parents had a police scanner.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah. And
So you grew up hearing,
So-
you knew.
I mean, my dad would monitor aviation, flights coming in and out of the city, city police, sheriff's office, and fire.
Yeah.
And I guess emergency medical services, was in that too. But, fire and paramedics are usually the first to respond on any sort of medical emergency too. And and they would actually, they'd go to sleep with it on at night.
What?
Yeah.
So information was currency.
Yeah. And then here, you want to know what else complicated things? When I first got into radio, which is,
Career.
what we still do, the career, one of my first jobs was to report traffic. This is before you had Google Maps and everything, and we still have traffic reports on radio stations, but you would monitor the police scanner to know what was going on. So your ear would become attuned to, is this a traffic accident or is this something else? And so and as you know, I also bought a scanner at one point.
I know. We were stuck in traffic recently, and he's like, "Reach back in the back seat and grab that thing for me." I'm like, what?
But that's
is
the
this?
that's the
That's
CB, which I've quickly found out no one uses anymore. It's like you can get on and wait for information. Nobody's talking on it. Right? But
you understand
anyway.
what happened yesterday is after he left, 20 or 30 minutes goes by. I'm like cleaning the kitchen. I can't remember what I was doing.
You went on with life.
He called. Yeah. I'm like, I hope somebody's okay down there, but I'm in my life. And he calls me back. He calls me, and I'm thinking, what's he calling me for? He's like, so I went down there. He's not even back at work yet. You went down the street to, find where all the emergency vehicles were going. And unfortunately, you found out nothing.
Yeah. Well, so I did. It took me a minute. I finally found where the emergency vehicles were going because I actually drove up and down our street like three or four times. It's like, okay, well, they can't all be gone.
It was down a cul-de-sac, right?
I mean, when it was an insane number of vehicles. That's why I really thought I even checked my phone to see if there's some breaking news going on, and but I had to literally weave through most of the neighborhood, and I finally found the street, and they actually had the street blocked off. And there were, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this. There were 4 fire trucks. There were 4 other fire vehicles, like, I don't know if it was a fire marshal or whatever, like, they've got their own little SUVs or whatever.
Right.
An emergency medical services unit was there also. And I'm trying to think what the one other thing was. But, I mean, and the street was blocked. And I'm thinking, this has got to be major. And I can't even go in there, but I didn't see smoke. And that's when I finally, like Sam said, it's like, well, it's time for me to get back to my life.
So you didn't pull up to the officer blocking the street and say, hey, what's up?
I couldn't, and
I'm glad for you for not doing that.
Because then I became concerned. Is this something more serious, like, was
domestic?
It a crime or something? Yeah, right. So I let it be. But yeah, but you understand why I would be that curious, right? It wasn't just one.
You're more curious if it's on our street. I understand that, but I would never.
But it was
if I was due back at work, I would have gone back to work.
But I didn't have any. I wasn't missing anything at work at that point yet.
Not that we know of.
No, but 4 fire trucks and that many other emergency vehicles and EMS and all that on site. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yes, and that's ingrained in you to do.
What surprises me here is as much as everything in life, Murphy doesn't let it go. He's got to see it through to the end.
Yeah.
To chase them around and find out where they are and go, okay. Without finding out why are you here.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I didn't feel it was my place. A casual observer, fine.
In other words, if he could find it, he was going to.
Right.
But after, it was so significant. You must have spent 20 minutes trying to find out what was going on.
You didn't whip out your scanner and see if...
Well, I don't have my scanner anymore, and that's the whole thing about everything is. It's on what they call trunk trackers today, and they're expensive, and your old scanners get out of date. And as much as I loved what my parents did, and back in the day, monitoring for traffic, I just don't want to spend the money on a scanner now.
Good,
you know
thank
what I mean?
you.
On today,
I don't want that sound in my house.
And you can. There are some apps. There are people that will do that, and you can stream it, but not every frequency is available that you would normally listen to. So there are apps I could listen to. Some law enforcement in the city, but not all the key ones. And I even checked that. And no, our fire department wasn't on that either. So so it was time to just give it up.
Well, it's just funny to me because I'm not wired that way. And you could only know that about Murphy if you have lived with him and traveled with him and vacationed with him. And then we're wired very differently. Now, if I can know if it's easy while I'm passing by, that's obviously something medical, or the back of that house is on fire. Not great, but I'm still going to get on with my life. I hope nobody died. Sort of thing.
Yeah, right. And which I did yesterday. I think that's if I'd have seen smoke, I would have had my answer. Because I didn't. I honestly did not want to be the nosy guy going, this could be a really nasty situation. I don't need to be going and asking about that.
Yeah.
Plus, I figured if it was that nasty, I'd see it on the news later.
Yes.
Sam?
Hey, a notification on my iPhone. Now I know what's going on.
Are you that person?
To a point. I mean, if it's near me, I've gone outside before and seen smoke coming from somewhere, and it's like, that's black smoke, and that's a lot of it.
Right. The closer it is to you, you want to know.
So, I'll hop on Twitter or X and Facebook or whatever to see if anybody's posting anything.
Yeah.
And follow it, but I don't go looking for problems.
Right. Me either. I
got enough of my own. I don't need anybody else's.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.